Welcome everybody to Meta Madness once again. Fnatic is going up against the 2Bs Determined, and we have our first map. It's a best of 5, and as you can see all the way up at the top, we already have 5 pre-banned heroes. If you're a little bit unfamiliar with the Meta Madness rules, and I'm just going to repeat them real quickly. In Meta Madness, in a series, a best of 5 in this case, every single hero that is banned during a map draft is banned for the entire series. Meaning that Lunara and Tracer, who are currently banned by the two teams, will not be played in the entire best of 5 anymore. They are gone. In addition to that, we also have the 5 heroes up at the top that were voted by the community that are banned for the entire event. So that will limit the hero pool for the team significantly heading into map number 2, map number 3, 4, and of course 5. You can go for support chokes here. We might even see games without a strong warrior at the front line. And this is of course forcing teams out of their comfort zone, forces them to just show how strong the hero pool actually is, and also to just have a bit more of creative drafting happening. And Fnatic in this case is playing, and they actually did not ban Medivh, which was by Team Liquid immediately banned against the 2Bs Determined. And that might be something that is a bit weird to teams that are not really familiar with ADRD, but he loves to play Medivh. And there's a very good chance that we are going to see that Medivh play again by him. For now, though, we have with Lunara and Tracer 2 damage dealers already banned out in our first game. And we are seeing Tyrael at this point at least hovered over, but I guess they're a little bit afraid that Medivh is going to pick the way, so it is a Medivh play by the 2Bs Determined. Also keep in mind that if you enjoy Meta Madness and if you would like to see more Meta Madness events in the future, then you can support the series via the Patreon link right down there. So you can go to patreon.com/Khaldor and support the event there. The money is going to flow into prize pools for future tournaments and future also like show matches, so that we have a bit more of that happening, maybe reverse drafts as well and similar setups. So if you want to support all of that, that's the way or the best way to do it. Fnatic is going for Meridian here as their first pick, so we still have, of course, quite a lot of strong warriors around, ETC also, and Vala. Vala has seen a lot of action in the last games, and this is particularly because Blizzard reworked the entire hero. Right now, the multi-shot build is probably the strongest that you have for Vala, where especially with her level 4 talent that gives her additional bonus damage depending on the number of hatred stacks she has, she can get incredible damage out. Later on, and when you have level 16, you get the increased range and a slow. She not only adds utility to the entire setup, but also, of course, can go for that safe poke, which is pretty fantastic. The Bees, on the other hand, with Medivh, and I mean, like, ADRD on Medivh is a monster. Not only does he have an amazing damage output, but just the way that the Bees are using portals is it's incredible. They really know perfectly well how to utilize that, and it's something that we have to look forward to here. But of course, Fnatic is an incredibly strong team, and they will go to BlizzCon. And in this setup, they not only have to prove that they are also a great drafting team, but also that they have the hero pool available to beat a team like the Beast Determined. So Tyrael Brightwing already chosen on the side of the Beast, not really bothering with any kind of range damage, with the exception of Medivh himself, of course, which is still a bit of a pseudo-hero in that sense. He offers a great amount of utility, but has also, of course, the ability to just shield a hero. And yeah, we have the bans coming in. Abathur already taken out. So no more Abathur shenanigans in this entire best of 5 series. And Greymane is also not going to make an appearance any longer. With Fnatic having a bit of an affinity to Greymane overall, this is something that the Bees just don't want to deal with, and they get that out right away. You can really tell that with the bans at this point, we already start to limit the damage dealer pool like significantly. Li Ming is globally banned, so is Sylvana, so is Falstad. Zagara, of course, oftentimes used as a bit of range damage as well, in addition to a push power. But now we have bans on Tracer, Lunara, and Greymane. And that is really starting to limit the options for the upcoming maps. So we definitely have something pretty cool to look forward to in the next few games. I mean, we've even seen a Gazlo in the series between Team Liquid and the Bees. And right now, at this point, we have Auriel picked as the healer. So at this point, Auriel already locked down. Probably going to have a trade on Vala for long periods in the game here. Kind of depending, of course, a little bit on what else they're going to do at this point. But yeah, so Vala and Auriel are taken. Fnatic has still another pick. They need still some kind of range damage. And at the front line, we could see them either with a Bruiser. They could instead also just jump into a second Warrior. They need something to really deal with that. And they go for Hammer. Or not. Hammer actually with a trade talent on Tyrael on 16 and the increased attack speed is pretty fantastic and has been played in several games here already today. But a Kel'Thuz's wouldn't be too bad either. Having that mage damage in addition to also using Vala here with a bit of auto attack and multi-shot pressure can be pretty great. Especially since on Cursed Hollow we have the Flame Strike to poke from a distance. Hammer solves a similar problem. Both of these heroes would be absolutely great with the setup that Fnatic is running here, depending a bit on personal preference in particular now, of course. And they decide after a bit of a thought process in favor of Kel'Thuz actually right now. But let's see how the Bees are complementing their Medivh setup, because they still lack solid range damage. They need something else. They can't solely rely on Medivh for the damage output here. There's still a couple of things that they can, of course, like pull off, but any kind of aggression play where Tyrael can use the Sanctification would, of course, also be quite nice. They are a team that is known to play a lot with Karrigan. They have played a lot of, and they have played with Hammer before as well. So right now they're going, there's the Karrigan, and they go for the Karrigan first. Do they still add the Hammer though? Not really all that flexible when it comes to just like moving around in the fight. And we might have a Chromie for the first time today, actually. We haven't seen her in a long time, but Chromie, I like both. I mean, like, I don't really care. Give me Hammer, give me Chromie. I'm going to be a happy panda. Hammer is not really as, like, fast with, like, setting up, though. I mean, Karrigan and Tyr oftentimes dive deep, and Hammer will have a bit of trouble following that up. Chromie might be a bit better in that sense, but Hammer, of course, has a lot of other benefits and advantages to her that we have already seen in the previous games where she was played a few times. And there it is. It is Hammer time again. The Bees go for the Sergeant. And Fnatic, they were thinking about it, but they didn't lock her in. And how do they react to this? Do we see a second tank? I mean, Stitch is oftentimes played against Hammer, of course, but it didn't work out for Team Liquid. Remember, they were trying to do it against the Beast Determined. A dive hero. Can you go into something like an Anubarak here, for example? Try to dive a little bit further. Are you going into a Thrall, who also, of course, enables you to at least engage with the Sundering? Have a second frontliner next to Muradin. And they go, nah. Double heal? Oriel Uther? I've never seen that before. That would be an interesting setup. Looks more like a bit of a troll, but they're running down the time pool. Are they actually confirming that? Wait, what? Okay. Guys, we have an Oriel Uther right now. I didn't see that coming. Oriel Uther is being played at this point. Double support. Is anything gonna die here? I'm not sure how this is going to go, but this is definitely an interesting setup. Medivh and Hammer going up against the combo surrounded by Oriel and Uther for the support. Game number 1 in the best of 5 here at Meta Madness, powered by Lioncast. Fnatic going up against TBD. Game number 1, ladies and gentlemen, at Meta Madness, powered by Lioncast. We have to the left side, Fnatic in blue with Breeze on Muradin, Schwimpy on Kel'Thuz, Smexy on Oriel, Wubby on Uther, and Quacknix on Vala. To the right side of the map, Blade on Karrigan for the 2Bs Determined, ADRD on Medivh, Bad Benny on Tyrael, Curson on Brightwing, and Nasty is playing that nasty Sergeant Hammer once again. Meta Madness, where heroes banned in draft are banned not only for map but for the entire series, and we are on the first map, so things are still a little bit normal, but we already have Hammer, we have Karrigan and Medivh in play, and this is going to be a fun one. When it comes to the talents on level 1, we're actually seeing the auto attack talent taken by Vala, going for the hot pursuit here, so trying to go for a little bit more movement speed and mana regeneration. As mentioned before, Muradin can be played in a different way, right? Oh, Hammer time! Well, yeah, in this case, Hammer is already done with, since Oriel, Schwimpy and Breeze went in for the kill. Great first kill by them, good trap, very well done here. Muradin, as I said before, is going in this case not into the third win trade, but actually is using block instead. And this is a talent that is basically now enabled because Blizzard changed, of course, a whole lot of the heroes in the last big patch in 20.0. And one of the changes was that Muradin now has he doesn't have that attack movement speed, his attack speed slow on level 1 anymore. It's basically baseline on his Thunderclap right now with an additional follow-up talent then later on in the game. So right now you mostly have the choice between third wind and block, which we oftentimes see. Breeze with a stun attempt together with Schwimpy. Bad Benny has to be careful, but Breeze is missing the Stormbolt, so now it's all good still. Convection taken on level 1, so Kalthas is going to attempt to get his quest talent completed, of course, for the extra damage, and then he's pretty much a beast, so I'm looking forward to that. We have stable portal taken at the same time for Medivh already. The lockdown against Brightwing. Curson about to fall, goes down. Quacknix even moving in with a quick vault here for the extra damage as well. Schwimpy, on the other hand, is dead since we have the immediate counter kill. But Blade might die for it, and he does as Breeze jumps in deep to secure the kill against Karrigan. 3 kills against 1, and already a pretty explosive start into the game. In level 1, we have for Sergeant Hammer now also the advanced artillery. And yeah, this is actually a start that we were hoping for. ADRD already starting with the portal shenanigans, and he is a master at that. It's one of those things that is absolutely fantastic when you're observing the 2Bs Determined, that they're actually like doing such a great job with those portals, and they move as a unit quite nicely with them. But is it enough to take Fnatic down? That's the question. Fnatic has a bit of a lead. We are currently also seeing that the 2 teams are on level 4 and the first tribute is on the map. Both teams did not have the time to go for the Siege Giants. We're seeing again the normal build with the Swift Sweep and the Majestic Span on the side of Oriel, focusing a little bit on that Sacred Sweep here overall, and Thunderburn taken by good old Breeze on his Muradin, as expected. Still a bit of a skirmish up here at the top. Curson is low. Breeze wants that kill, is waiting for his cooldown to be active again, but Nasty is also starting to help out Brightwing. Stormbolt doesn't hit. Down here it was still a 3 versus 2, and therefore the Bees end up with the tribute. A little bit of extra experience thanks to Oriel hogging the top lane and making sure that she just gets additional XP for the team. So right now, we have another win taken in addition to that, and here is Punishment. The multi-shot build on Vala is like the build after the recent patch for Vala, which of course also featured a massive switch around with talents on Vala. It was a complete rework, and right now most of the players go into a massive multi-shot build, since especially with Punishment as the level 4 talent gives you a whole lot of damage once that you have your hatred stacks up. There's a couple of like things that you can do in the later stage of the game where you have a bit of deviation on 13 and on 16, but mostly it's a multi-shot focus. Her auto attack build is actually pretty fantastic if you make it to level 20 and you get the extra range on those attacks. The problem, of course, is that you can't really rely on getting to 20 without falling too far behind, and therefore multi-shot is just the very dominant talent that we currently have. Level 7 talents will kick in, and that should be just in time for Fnatic to have a slight lead in talents before this one is going to become an issue. Bad Benny is jumping in, interrupting Shrimpy here. Already Arsenal taken. Brightwing is down. Nasty barely escaping. And still no level 7 talent on the side of the 2Bs Determined. We have also, by the way, Brightwing with the Arcane Barrage taken. Bird's Eye View on the side of Medivh, and with the level 7 talents already, Oriel heading straight into the Energized Court taken here. Another thing that we have to point out is that Muradin basically, the build on Muradin is basically still the same. There's like talents that have been moved around, and on level 1 you have a bit more flexibility now in the way that you can actually skill. But overall, Muradin is still going into the synergy between the level 4 talent with his Thunder Burn and level 30 healing static. ADRD with the portal now also starting to move back, but important is that he has now his Master's Touch. And this is really where ADRD is going to become incredibly strong. He is absolutely amazing when it comes to the Medivh play, and the damage output that he usually has on Medivh is absolutely incredible. And he's going to try and use that again in this game here with Master's Touch as his level 7 talent. We have also the Thruster talent on 7 with the Hyper Cooldown engines for Sergeant Hammer, which is going to be a huge asset for Nasty, since he will be able to just move back out of a lot of these weird situations during the game. But now the poke is starting, as we have the second tribute for one of these teams on the map now. It's tribute number 3 in total. And still, of course, we have Kalthas trying to poke with a Flame Strike, and Nasty is a great target for that. So as long as he always hits at least Nasty, he's starting to stack up these numbers, but he is not allowed to die, which is why Shrimpy is always moving very far behind. Nice, gets another one in, but the curse ends up in the hands of Curson. In this case, ADRD actually like blocking with Bad Benny that attempt of Kalthas to interrupt, so well played by them. But it's 8, level 9 nearly. Oh, Medivh in trouble! Oh, what a combo! Nice lockdown by Shrimpy's Kalthas, and Breeze is ready with a Stormbolt and immediately takes him apart. Burned Flesh taken on level 7 now for Khaldor as well, so getting the additional damage output here. But still, the quest talent is very important for Shrimpy, and this is something that he really has to work on if he wants to get the maximum damage out of his Khaldor's play in this game. And of course, that makes him a priority target. If Kerrigan sees a chance, she will jump in and try to take him down. At the bot lane, we still have Uther, and the double support setup that we are seeing on the side of Fnatic is now resulting in them going for a cleanse. They have at least one. They could go for actually a stun on 10 for Uther. They don't necessarily need to go into the Divine Shield here. They already have Oriel with the Crystal Aegis, but they still add the Divine Shield as a second layer of protection. We have Strafe taken for Vala, C at the same side now Phoenix claimed, and for Muradin it is going to be the Avatar. Actually, thinking about it, it could also be the Haymaker. With 2 healers supporting you as the frontliner, there is definitely a chance for Priest trying to be a bit more of a playmaker in the game, but he has the choice that he can make here. Bad Benny is isolated, nice Phoenix as well, Strafe being used, he's still alive though. Very good force of will use on the side of ADRD. They saved Bad Benny. Job well done, and Avatar chosen on the side of Breeze. But it's now 2 tributes against 2 tributes, which is of course perfect for us, because it means that the next one is going to be a cursed tribute, and this is going to force the teams to really fight over it. Both of the teams are now on level 10 as well, and of course for ADRD's Medivh, that means Leyline Seal is the talent that is being chosen here, going straight into that, doesn't really see the need for interrupt with the polymorph. And we have Brightwing waiting currently for own talent to be taken. Emerald Wind is something that we have seen a lot on the side of the bees, but if you need that additional heal, the Blink heal is absolutely fantastic. And it gives you also the mobility that you can oftentimes use to escape if you are being jumped by the opponent. Right now, Curson at the bot lane still trying to get a bit more experience before jumping into the fight, as the tribute up at the top lane is currently spawning here. So let's see how that's going to go. This is going to be a curse one way or another. Medivh is flying over, but Nasty has Napalm, and that allows him to just like throw that in every now and then to go for an interrupt, and this is exactly what he does. Now we have Brightwing in, went for the Blink heal by the way. Smexy again with an attempt to go for the quick channel here, not able to make it happen, and both teams just trying to poke a little bit before they have the engage. Nasty on the hammer, always has to dodge a little bit since Shrimpy is just about to hit one flame strike after another and stack for his quest talent. Hasn't completed it yet, but he's getting closer, and of course that's a bit of thorn in the sides of the bees, and this is why they're trying to also set Kerrigan into position. Once again, the portal being used here, but the curse is hitting them. The curse is hitting hard. Breeze is jumping out, and they're immediately disengaging. Great play by Fnatic, trying to go for Nasty, but the thrusters are activated, and he's able to dodge that Stormbolt. Wooby is a bit far behind, but so far things are working out quite nicely for Fnatic. Convection is nearly completely stacked for Shrimpy. This is the time where he needs to be careful. Gets another one in, well played. He will have that extra damage very, very soon here, and this is going to be great for Fnatic if they can complete it before the 10-minute mark here. Also, when we're talking quest talents, we have to, of course, to talk about the Master's Touch. And that is another talent that we currently have in play there. But it has only been completed to about a third, not much more than that. Once again, wave clear on all lanes. Muradin is attacked in the mid lane, but no real threat to him. And Shrimpy is not completed just yet with that talent. He's still waiting for an opportunity to get that additional strafe being used. And immediately the portal saving ADRD. Job well done here by him. Shrimpy needs that flame strike. There's only one more, and then he's going to be ready for it. He's trying to make that happen against Blade, who's very low. Breeze looking for Stormbolt. Leyline Seal in the back. Breeze about to take Kerrigan out, and this is the kill. Kerrigan is dead, and Shrimpy is still looking for that flame strike to complete his quest talent, complete connection here. Once again, trying to dodge around a little bit, just waiting for, and he gets it. Needs one more actually, but Nasty is already on the way back. Shrimpy alone, but with Kerrigan dead, he's not really a big threat to him. And Uther is also around and can always drop that quick Divine Shield if need be. Shrimpy still in position, goes for it, and this is his quest talent completed. And that is, of course, even more damage on his part now. Great kill against Tyrael too. Fnatic moving as a unit across the map here and getting kill after kill. Decent value also out of the curse, eliminating the fort at the bot lane, and now the one here in the middle too. But it's 14 against 13, so Fnatic is ahead, but they're not too far ahead just yet. We have 13 talents for both of the teams right now. Brightwing at the bot lane went actually on level 13 into the shield dust. Is playing this a bit safe. Doesn't really have a lot of vision about Fnatic's positioning. But just trying to soak the experience here while staying safe. Shrimpy on 13. with the backdraft, trying to slow them down, especially strong, of course, against heroes like Karrigan once they start to jump in. Muradin's healing static is giving him that synergy that Breeze was looking for with his Thunderburn on level 4. Very important talent for him here to take. And we see the Tempered by Discipline for Valla, not going into Gloom, since they're not really too much of ability damage. Against like a lot of mage heroes, it would have probably been Gloom, but this is going to help a little bit with the sustain overall on the lanes. Of course, Medivh on 13 goes straight for the portal cooldown. That allows Medivh to spam that out a little bit more. We have seen variations in that build in the past. AD Force of Will, and the portal trying to go through is not able to make it. Again, Fnatic with all those disables, with the stuns on Whoopi as well, going in and taking him down. Great play by them. 8 kills against 1, and Fnatic is just shown absolutely incredible play. Giant killer for Sergeant Hammer. But if you compare this to the setup against Team Liquid earlier here today, Hammer never really got that value that she was looking for. On Brax's holdout, when the Bees already played against Team Liquid back then, Hammer got a lot more value because they could get into these sieged positions and just like push structures down, and Fnatic hasn't really allowed that to happen. So they play a great game here thus far and have also allowed that level 16 talent, which allows them an easy grab on the Tribute. They're seeing still the heavy impact. Fury of the Sunwell as well, with a double explosion. We have the Reservoir of Hope taken on the side of Oriel at this point. Benediction after Shrink Ray, and as already mentioned before, the extra range on Valla. Oh, wow. AD is an exceptional Medivh player, but in this game, like if this is the only Medivh game that you've ever seen of AD, you probably wouldn't believe it, because right now Fnatic, they have his number. They totally have his number. He was, like, these guys played actually at the regional finals at Gamescom, and back then the Medivh play of AD brought Fnatic at the brink of losing and being eliminated out of the tournament. But right now, they definitely know how to play against that. As mentioned before, the Frost Shot on 16 is now just absolutely amazing for the additional utility on Valla, but it also, of course, adds that range which is able, or which allows Valla to just poke from a safer distance. Another tribute that is easily going to be taken by Fnatic, since there's very little chance that the Bees are willing to really commit to an attack here without having the level 16 talent. They're going to get that soon, thanks to Curson soaking experience at the top, and also, of course, the boss going straight through the fort. But the defense is going to happen down here very soon, and 16 is now finally in play, but the tribute has already been soaked. Which means that we have now 2 tributes against 2 and a potential curse looming on the horizon. Aggressive defense taken, reabsorption, an important talent to take. Oh my god, Shrimpy nearly falling here, Strafe going in, and here comes that immediate Phoenix on the ground, but a great leyline seal allowing the Beast to move back, at least for now. Graduating into range by Hammer. AD with a portal save once more, but the boss is already on the keep up to the top lane. We're seeing a similar picture as the boss of the Beast is already on Fnatic's keep, but it's very unlikely to really go through with it. The keep is already down there, jumping in once again. Maelstrom has been used by Karrigan, low in mana. Breeze is jumping in for the heavy impact, trying to get a potential kill here. So far, nobody has died just yet, but once again, Ori with a great move, stunning them out and taking down Karrigan and Brightwing. Fnatic with impeccable play here, going for Medivh now. AD is trying to escape, but there's absolutely no chance of it happening. A 2-level lead and 12 kills against 1. It looks like it might be game. The core is being attacked. Nasty, the only one who's still surviving, trying to save that core. Bad Benny actually also is still around, and it doesn't really feel like they are going to be able to save that core. But Fnatic is getting low on the heroes, getting really low. Breeze is jumping in against Nasty, trying to block him out. To no avail though. The core is destroyed and Fnatic takes the lead in the best of 5 series here at Meta Madness. GG and well played. Towers of Doom is map number 2, everybody. Fnatic plays against the 2Bs Determined, and Fnatic is in the lead. Right now, going into that second game, it means, of course, also that we have 9 heroes banned already. The 4 heroes that were banned in the first map draft, Abathur, Tracer, Lunara and Greymane, but also the 5 heroes that were globally banned for the entire event. So right now, the teams can't really rely on those 9, and which means that we are going to find out how they are now dealing with that limited hero pool. And Fnatic, even though they won the last game, they are getting rid of Medivh. They know that the Bees love that particular one, and therefore Medivh is banned. It is Towers of Doom, so it doesn't really come as a surprise to see that we have an immediate ban on the Lost Vikings again. We have a first pick for Fnatic, and Vikings are just like absolutely strong. Shad might be the best Vikings player in Europe, but we still have Shrimpy around, and he is not too shabby on the Vikings either. Fnatic blocking in the Muradin immediately as one of the main tanks here, and now for the Bees, of course, with a double pick. It's going to become a bit more interesting. The last time that we saw them in Meta Madness, they actually went for the Trace and Tassadar combo, but they can't do that here since Trace has already banned. Clownshoe, thank you very much for the sub, my friend. Cheers for the support. It's appreciated. And it seems like the Bees are looking for their Tychus again. If you watched already the first series where the Bees played versus Team Liquid, you know that they played a lot of Tychus there. So it's a first pick for them, again on Towers of Doom. Might be played by Nasty or by ADRD, depending a little bit on the rest of the draft. But it's definitely a good start for them. High damage dealer, also against Muradin, of course. There's a very high damage pool. You can go into a lot of those percentage talents and then put even more pressure onto Muradin, which worked quite nicely here for them. So the Bees, they still have a second pick, and we are on a map where especially global mobility can be important. Wave clear as well. A Brightwing could make an appearance in this game right now, since you have actually that soak. You can jump to the other side of the map to help with the channeling of an altar. There's also a few frontliners like ETC that we haven't even seen in the entire series just yet. They are going for an Nubarak on the other hand. Interestingly enough, since the Nubarak wasn't played at all during the last game, and Fnatic with a Muradin and maybe a Tyrell combo here. Going for the Tyrell for the Sanctification. We've actually seen some cheesy moves where Fnatic channeled an altar for the game-winning altar in the late game. Just moved in, started the channel, dropped the Sank, and there's nothing you can do anymore to interrupt it. So right now Tyrell is once again part of their combination. Vala, again, an early pick on her. And you could see in the last game already that she did really solid stuff at good value. The Bees, on the other hand, they accept that Kalthas was one of the problems in the last game for them and that he had a huge damage output there. So they, first of all, get rid of him. He's a great poke hero as well, and Kalthas, if he gets his convection stacks up, can just do so much damage in the game. Karrigan for Fnatic as a ban, so you can really tell that this is not only about like drafting well for yourself, it's also about like really target banning a few of the heroes you know your opponent is strong with. And the Bees play a lot of Karrigan, and in the last game Karrigan might not really have led them to victory, but it's still one of those constant threats against you. So right now Karrigan already taken out by Fnatic, which also means of course that during the entire rest of this best of 5, the Bees won't be able to rely on Karrigan Medivh anymore. They are going for the Arthurs now, on the other hand. So they have an Anubarak and Arthurs, unless they switch in favor of another frontliner, but they don't. So huge frontline here. Very strong also against that Muradin. Thing is, though, that Arthurs, of course, relies heavily on the team really moving in with him. He's lacking in escape, and it's very difficult for him to disengage from any kind of battle. So once that you lose the rest of your team, Arthurs is basically dead in the waters either way. But right now they have an Anubarak, they have an Arthurs. It's a very heavy frontliner, and they also, of course, have that lockdown with a Howling Blast. They can follow it up with the stuns on Anubarak and then put that damage in. Could even see them trying to maybe look at a bit of mage damage here. Of course, Kalthas is banned, so is Li Ming, as she's globally banned for the event. But we still have heroes like a Jaina around, just to give one example. So there's still a couple of options that you have. Another hero that I could see at some point, maybe not quite in this game, is a Tyrande, since the Bees play with Tyrande a lot. If we have a few later stage matches, it's still a possibility for them that they go into a Tyrande play. But for now, it is a Brightwing that they're opening up with. So Brightwing for that global presence that I've been talking about a bit earlier. So you can jump from altar to altar, from lane to lane, and make sure that you get some split soak experience for your team. But Fnatic now needs to round that setup up. And they have played with an Oriel in the last game, and it seems to be one of the favorite heroes for Smexy these days. And there it is. And guys, I could be an Asmodan right there. And it is! The Wimpy is going on an Asmodan apparently. Alright, so we have Asmodan in play right now here at Meta Madness on Towers of Doom. And the Bees with the more normal looking lineup, which is a bit uncharacteristic for them, I want to say. But let's see how that's going to go. What's going to be the last pick for them? A little bit more range damage would probably be a pretty decent idea right now, since only relying on Tychus might not be the best idea. But Tychus is getting a lot of value out of that percentage damage. Against Asmodan, a high hit point pool hero, and Muradin, it's not going to be too bad if they can move in there. They're not really have the most mobile squad here in those fights now, though. We have even seen, Azul for more wave clear. Look at that. Didn't really expect Zul to be taken in this case. A Bone Prison can also help now. So yeah, Game number 2, everybody. On Towers of Doom, Fnatic against the 2 Bs determined, and the Bs with a very melee-heavy setup here. Dear Nobody, thank you very much for the resub as well. Cheers, bro. But yeah, the Bs with a very, very melee-heavy setup that they're running here right now. So guys, we're going to go into game number 2 at Meta Madness and going to find out who's going to take it, Fnatic or the 2 Bs determined. Game number 2, Towers of Doom is the map, ladies and gentlemen, and we have more Meta Madness action with Fnatic to the left side, Breeze on Murden, we have Schwimpy on Asmodan, Wooby on Tyrael, Smexy on Oriel, and Quacknix is playing Vala. To the right side of the map, the Bs determined with Blade on Arthas, Nasty on Tychus, Bad Benny on Anubarak, AD is playing the Zul, and Curson as the main healer is once again on Brightwing. Fnatic in this best of 5 already has taken the lead here, so that's another one. It's going to be pretty interesting to observe if they are able to make this a 2-0 or if all of a sudden we have the Bs showing their true skills. Already Asmodan on level 1 going into the Sieging Wrath, so his own quest talent, not going into the Taste for Blood. I've seen this actually a little bit more often. Of course, Zul going up against this is going into Backlash. If they get all of those percentage damage points in against the opponent, they will do a whole lot of work with it. Arthas with a Frost Presence, we have Vala again as Imagine into the Hot Pursuit, and of course that third wind on Murden, which has become pretty much standard together with the block talent that you take every now and then depending on how many auto attackers you're up against. Right now though, we're having at the bot lane a bit of a rotation going on. Zul is attempting to just rotate through these lanes to make sure that he has all that additional just like wave clear and puts that to some use. Oh, they're going for a Breeze right now too. Maybe the polymorph a little bit too early, but Breeze eating a lot of damage, saving himself more or less with a quick Storm Bolt against Tychus here. But you can really see that this rotation that we see with 5 heroes on the map is currently being dominated by the Bs. So they are actually starting to take the initiative in the game here. Maybe a little bit fed up after they got demolished by Fnatic in the last game. We're seeing Bad Benny still in the middle of the map at this point. Oriel as a solo healer this time after she was joined by Uther for the heal in the last game. It's a bit of a different setup, at least for now. And that being said, Asmodan still trying, of course, to get his stacks together. I mean, Asmodan with the stacking process that he currently has here is already on 11 heroes hit. And it's a pretty cool talent actually to take, especially if you want to get some value out of Asmodan in the earlier stage of the game. It's probably one of the best choices you have. A bit of a sneaky setup here, trying to wait for someone to just move in, and all of a sudden it's a 3 versus 3. Make that a 4 versus 3 as Curson is going in with a polymorph. Can they get the kill against Smexy? Doesn't feel like it. Smexy with good moves here in his heals, but not able to take anybody down just yet. But it's 3 altars on the map, and this is the moment when the Bees have to really go for the objective as well. Arthas versus Tyrael up at the top lane, earlier level 4, just slightly by the Bees, going obviously in the rhythm here for now. We have also Biting Cold taken, Under King, and Jailers, level 4 for both of them. Quacknix already under a bit of pressure here in the back, most likely going for punishment again. Oh, there's the hits again, but they, oh no, what? 50 hit points on Breeze, and he barely survives, but it's a kill against Tychus that turns it in favor of Fnatic. Not too bad. Fnatic here with that kill confirmed. Horadric Reforging taken out 2. 5 more seconds until Tychus is back. Tyrael up here already with the shots fired. 5 again, 4 on both sides. But the third altar goes to Fnatic now too. So they get this one thanks to the kill against Tychus. So overall we're ending up with 36 hit points on the core of Fnatic and 32 on the side of the Bees. So yeah, punishment obviously with a level 4 talent. We have now also the Army of Hell. It can actually be, it's a pretty great build if you just want to go for pushing power. And I mean, let's face it, on this map, push power can be quite powerful. Once again, we're seeing those shots fired by Asmodan, who's getting closer and closer to completing his globe talent. He's already at 19 stacks and he needs 25 so that he get the range increase and also, of course, that additional damage increase, which is going to make him pretty powerful. It's also a great hero to just interrupt channels. Oriel killed at the bot lane, so right now with the rotation, we're actually seeing a bit of value out of those heroes locking targets down, and 1 versus 1 when it comes to the kill count. Now Arthur's starting to move into the mid lane. At the same time, Blade is trying to just help out ADRD a little bit here. But someone has to soak the top lane, and it feels like Arthur is going to deal with that. Bad Benny, Nasty, they're going for the camps. I mean, on this map, you want to get as many of those as possible. Not only can you put pressure on the structures, but potentially you can even damage the core with them. So that's something they're waiting for. 21 stacks on Shrimpy, still trying to get those together. But Nasty is going for the dodge. Level 7 talents. After punishment, it's Arsenal for Vala. And Shrimpy already talking about the hitbox. And it's actually like, he's not quite wrong about that. Some of the hitboxes that we have in Heroes of the Storm are a little bit odd. Bursting Light for the cooldown reduction on the Ray of Heaven, as he is the solo healer in this game. And we're having now the Infernal Globe taken for Shrimpy as well. So getting the shots in even a bit faster. Same time now, Altar spawn again, 1 tower down, experience nearly the same. And both of the teams getting ready for the bot Altar to be the focus of attention. ADRD wants to get another wave up at the top lane and get a bit of push power. Question of course is, are they willing to maybe even sacrifice that Altar at the bot lane? It looks very much like he is able to sacrifice a lot here, but he is already on his way back down. We have Shrimpy about to fall though, and with Asmodan dead, there's a high chance that they can interrupt, but they have to hurry because Smexy is already on the channel. Nasty with a grenade, and that was a clutch save. Of course, now Fnatic realizing that they won't be able to do anything about it. Asmodan is down. There's not a lot of interrupts there. They had to rotate someone up to the top lane to just stop that wave, and that was Whoopi claiming the experience. So shots fired against the core of Fnatic, and that's 32 versus 32 damage points. It is starting to be a little bit more of a closer game than the last one that we observed between those two teams. But we have just about now the level 10 abilities come to play. One more level and then we are there. Kaitina's plating is in, still waiting for the cleanse, and there it is. Right wing goes for the cleanse now. At the top lane, still the siege continuing with Whoopi going up against Zul right now. So let's see how that's going to work out. Whoopi definitely not having that wave clear that ADRD can contribute here. And ADRD just ignores him completely, just goes like and says like, okay, this wave is mine. Takes it down, easy peasy. Teams are just looking for him. They want to have the heroics, and then it's going to be the most important part of the game. How do the heroics stack up together? How are they able to synergize with them? And one thing that I also want to point out, that we have the quest time actually complete for Asmodan. So he is going to get a little bit more damage in. And Asmodan here really for the interrupts is also going to get solid value. Once again, Nasty moving away. Decent cleanse by Curse. Quarknix is down. Great job here by the Bees with a nice collapse onto the opponent. They are able to get that kill. Now the level 10 abilities are in for both of them. The Locust Swarm. We have also the Army of the Dead. The Black Pool, of course, for Asmodan. Once more Strafe on the side of Vala. And Emerald Wind for Brightwing. They go for Shrimpy. He's isolated. And he is dead once again. Great kills here by the Bees. Definitely a much better game for them now than what we've seen on the last map. So they are really building up some momentum for themselves. And in another 26 seconds, we are going to see another fight over the next altar spawning on the map, which is a single altar event once again. But we don't have any kind of talent leads here. The teams will fight on even talents. We have skeleton mages for Zul. And once more, both of the teams are just like looking for a decent position. But keep in mind that Asmodan will be back for this in time, so you can still get all of that poke damage in. And when we're talking about damage, Asmodan isn't really doing too bad just yet. 12,000 for him already, 18,000 on the other hand on the side of Tychus. Uh-oh, Smexy! No, Quarknix is in trouble. Quarknix attack, but gets the strafe in. Bad Benny needs to retreat. Emerald Wind saving them for now. Breeze is being attacked, and here comes the Bone Prison together with the Jailers, but the Avatar is being triggered. Asmodan is stacking, trying to just get that altar. It's not in time, though, as Bad Benny engaged into him immediately, but everybody is rather low for now, though. Once again, Shrimpy with the shots here, thanks to the Black Pool, even with the extra damage. You have Curson moving away, and Bad Benny gets pushed into a wall by Smexy. It's a double kill as Anubarak and Brightwing die. Could even be a triple if Nasty falls now too, and with Breeze jumping in and securing the kill, it is the death of the damage dealer. Well done here, Fnatic. Not only do they get the shots, but they also get 3 kills on top of it, and are using that now to push through that bot lane and maybe even claim a complete bell tower. They don't follow it up too much, they're just rotating towards the camps at this point, but we have 4 kills against 4 kills right now, and both of the teams are starting to zone in on level 13. Great fight that we saw, and once again, by the way, initiated by Smexy, going straight for Nubarak and pushing him into a wall, locking him down even further, and then the rest of the team could complement, or could simply just capitalize on that particular move. So really well done here. So once again, we are seeing Fnatic in a slight lead. The Bees had a bit of momentum going for themselves, but that has changed now. It's not quite over for them just yet, obviously. They're only slightly behind, but they really need to win one of these team fights just now. So once again, everybody is just like spreading out onto the lanes to get the experience. Brightwing is at the top lane. He's going to try and just like fight in. It's very safe positioning here. Asmodan doesn't really care about that, just throws a globe nearly across the half the map and gets the experience thanks to the kill. But we have now Breeze over there guarding Quacknix and Smexy. AD already knows about it, but already trying to jump away. Nasty is in, gets the grenade into play, but not able to do anything else just yet. Hedonism is now taken too, allowing Asmodan to stay on the map a little bit longer. We have the healing static too. Wooby was on a bit of pressure here, but is of course able to jump away. Bala once more with a Tempered by Discipline. And here's the 5 versus 5, but we have Sanctification on the ground. Blade moving away, has his army up, but is still falling. Good kill on the side of Fnatic. They jumped in. The rest of the team was a bit too late there. Brightwing didn't see an opportunity to use the Emerald Wind, so didn't even go for that. And altars are active in 10 seconds, and this is a double altar event, and they are going to have to stall a little bit for Arthas to come back. Now we have the Trail of Frost, which is actually great for him, but he couldn't really use that just yet. And that's the stuff now as the level 13 talent on the side of Tychus. Smexy aggressively trying to get this. Bad Benny should interrupt. Is going deep for it. Arthas is on the way back in right now. Here comes the hit from Asmodan. Not doing too much damage just yet though. But the kill against Zul, and Fnatic just mercilessly taking advantage of these 5 versus 4 situations. Getting a triple kill again. The coordination on the side of Fnatic is just too good. And we are talking about them playing against the 2Bs Determined. Or of course a very strong team and a strong force to be reckoned with. So right now, we have a very, very solid setup here for Fnatic, not only being nearly a level ahead, but also like pushing the opponent further and further down. Boss taken even now, and with that, we're going to have the Bees down to half the points in the core that Fnatic has. 16 to 32 right now. And well, the Bees, they not only need to close that gap in experience to have a chance to fight on 16 versus 16 over the next event, but they also really need to win a team fight. And the thing that is really important here is that the first and the 5th event on this map are both triple altar events. And that is going to happen next. So this is really one of those moments where you need to... I think it's the next one. Could be the 4th, I think it's the 5th. But once that you fight over 3 additional altars, a game can completely flip, or you can even fall farther and farther behind. And experience, as I said before, is absolutely everything for the Bees right now. They are fully aware that Fnatic will reach 16 fast. And they need to get 16 before that happens. Again, AD Arty in a bit of trouble. Already Skeleton Mages on the ground. Breeze, on the other hand, finds himself in trouble, gets still healed, and has the cooldown ready to use his Dwarf, doesn't jump away. Nasty goes still in for the drill, trying to get a kill in here. Oh, but they can't confirm it, and they're once again really low, but a nice Howling Blast on Arthas. Really well done by him. They're going in, but the level 16 talent is now ready for Fnatic. Blade, can he escape? Oh my god, he can't. And they get another kill against the Nubarok. They might even get Nasty. What a... Breeze is jumping in. He's just like, no fucks given. He just goes deep, and they get another kill against AD Arty. No, they don't. Oh, they do! The arrow actually hits him and gets the last shot in. 16 versus 15. They go straight for the bell tower. It's 12 kills against 4. With 16, they have the heavy impact. They have the Battleborn as well. They go for the Frost Shot and the Reservoir of Hope. The triple altar is on the map, and oh boy, are the Bees in trouble now. They're going to lose all 3 altars. Could this be game? It's actually going to be really close. If this one is taken and they get all 3 altars, then it's over. Guys, this is looking like game. This is game. This is actually game. 5 more shots fired as Smexy. He waited with the channel, and he's getting it. And down here, they're channeling as well. This is GG, as we have Fnatic with a 2-0 lead against the 2Bs Determined after a pretty dominant game on Towers of Doom. Game number 3 on Infernal Shrines, everybody. We are the third game. That means that a variety of heroes is already banned. You see them all the way up at the top. So this is where things are starting to become interesting. And also, we have the third map with Fnatic being in the 2-0 lead here at Meta Madness. Powered by Lioncast. You kind of know what that means. That means that it could be a 3-0, and of course we are hoping for more games than only 3 here, but we have Vala banned right now. The Bees are saying, you know what, Vala was such a high priority pick every single time for Fnatic, we are taking her. And Fnatic are maybe getting rid of Zul here, and Zul is a hero that is being played by the Bees quite regularly, and on this map he gets solid value. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Muradin first pick, to be honest, just to pick him away, but instead they pick Oriel. Okay, that works too. So Oriel is taken here already, and we have her, actually seen her combined with like Sergeant Hammer, for example, and other heroes. Fnatic, first of all, I think there's going to be a Muradin, right? They have been so adamant about picking Muradin first that it would surprise me to not see him taken here. And yes, they go for Muradin, but with the early pick on Tychus, they first of all made Muradin even a bit safer, and also they pick a great tool of TBD away from them, which is exactly what they're currently doing here. So, let's see how exactly the Bees are going to play this. And it's Leoric. They switch around and go for Leoric instead. Alright, call me intrigued. This is going to be good. We have a lot of damage already banned out. Hammer is still there. It is a hero that the Bees have played twice today. I could definitely see them play him once more. A lot of heroes are already banned at this point, but let's see how TBD is going to continue that draft. Medivh is not available to them. It was a target ban against them, and I mean Zul for the wave clear is also now gone, so they have to think a little bit about how they are going to play it here. Abathur is eliminated. We have a lot of the poke heroes, a lot of the standard heroes that you see on this map are actually already banned out. Zagara is not available. A Lunara that we sometimes see neither. Sylvanas, for example, not part of this draft. So with a Kel'Thas that has that AoE damage, he's also gone. So a lot of these AoE heroes that we oftentimes see on Infernal Shrines are eliminated from the game already as is. So now the teams have to really think about how they are going to approach it. And no, yes, please. Are we gonna see that Cho'Gall? There is a Leoric pick already. Are you going into a Cho'Gall if Leoric is already chosen? That's probably the reason why Fnatic picked Cho'Gall. We all know that TBD likes to play Cho'Gall. We know that. The Fnatic was thinking about Muradin. They picked Muradin every single game so far. But they know there's a high chance for Cho'Gall being played. And then we would see the next bans coming in. And then Leoric can be banned. Right now they have Tychus Leoric, which is the perfect combo against Cho'Gall. So in this case, TBD, who thought about playing Cho'Gall, is saying like, we can't. We can't play him. If we have Tychus against us, plus Leoric, it's too much. One of the two, yes, we can deal with this, but not both. So right now, we have actually that particular setup, and yes, that was actually fun. The funny thing is that while I'm saying this, one of the players wrote me and said, we picked both of the Cho'Gall counters just to make sure. We double dared them. We're like, try it. Please do. So yeah, Fnatic going for the anti-Cho'Gall draft here, and TBD reacting with going Tyrael and Asmodan. I mean, obviously, if you don't get Cho'Gall, what do you get? You get Tyrael, Asmodan, Kappa. Okay, so we have Asmodan again for the second time today already. But yeah, the bans are coming in. And these are now pretty... Now, what do you ban here? I mean, Healer is taken. I guess you can ban some range damage. We still have Arena available. We have Gul'dan out there. We have a Chromie that we've seen a couple of times at least thought about, if not in the patch, in the draft just yet. Jaina can still be played. Yeah, what else do we have when it comes down to the range damage? There's still a couple of heroes that I'm currently blanking on. Sergeant Hammer has been played, for example. So there's still like options that you have when it comes to the range damage. Alarak hasn't been played here today either. Again, the Butcher ban. Second time the Butcher is being banned against TBD. And immediately in an Uberak this is being banned out too. Really starting to work on those tanks on that front line again. Keep in mind, Muradin is still out there. There's still Muradin available. I'm a little bit surprised they banned an Uberak. I would have banned Muradin. I would have taken him out because, let's face it, we could still see that. And they take the hammer away. Leoric, Tychus, and Sergeant Hammer together with the Tacita. Oh my god. Like, guys, what is this going to be? I mean, look at it. How are the Vs going to complete the draft right now? What do you play against that? We have Asmodan and Tyrael already taken. We still have some melee assassins. Kerrigan might be banned. No way. Nah. There's no way they play a Cho'Gall. What? Is ADRD drunk? They're playing Cho'Gall against Sergeant Hammer with Giant Killer, against Leoric and Tychus, and Fnatic is just standing there, it's just like, what the hell's going on? It's like, what? Like, I mean, okay. Captain, what do we do? Our opponent has the perfect counter against the hero that we want to play. Yeah, I don't care, let's pick him anyways. Okay, so Cho'Gall is being played with Asmodan, Tyrael, and Oriel. And ADRD is just standing there. It's just like, you have a Leoric, you have a Tychus, you have a good Giant Killer hero. You know what? I don't care. I really don't. Screw it. Cho'Gall. There we go. And I mean, who doesn't love Cho'Gall Asmodan? It's the standard comp in Meta Madness, Kappa. Oh, Morales with Sergeant Hammer. Stim Joan galore. Yeah. Morales, Hammer, Tazada, Leoric, and Tychus. Boys, game number 3 is going to be a treat. Game number 3, the 2v is determined with Cho'Gall Asmodan going up against Fnatic. This is going to be a good one. Let's jump straight into Infernal Shrines. Game number 2, everybody. Game number 3, actually, my bad. Here at the Meta Madness is set between 2B is determined and Fnatic, and Fnatic is in a 2-0 lead, which could make this the last map. And, well, ADRD and his boys didn't care at all that Fnatic picked Leoric and Tychus first. They still went into Cho'Gall. Blade on Cho, Nasty on Gull. We have Bad Benny on Tyrael, Curson on Oriel, and ADRD on the Asmodan. And to the right side of the map, their opponent, Breeze on Leoric as the only frontliner, Quacknix on Sergeant Hammer. We have Schwimpy on Tychus, Wooby on Tacita, and Smexy on Lieutenant Morales. It is going to make for a very interesting game because, well, basically Fnatic dared the Bees to go for that Cho'Gall draft, and even with Leoric taken. Oh, I didn't even know he could do that. Look at this. Look at this. It looks like he rides a toy. This is absolutely amazing. I'm loving this. I'm going to play a lot more Cho'Gall now just to see that. That is brilliant. But yeah, even with all those heroes taken, basically like 2B is determined to set, it's fine, we're still going to play our Cho'Gall, and it's going to be an interesting game for sure. I mean, both Leoric and also the Tychus have, of course, a lot of percentage damage that they can use in this setup, and I mean, this is going to be a super interesting game. First of all, we have Surging, Dash taken, and we see now Shove on the side of Gal, nudging Cho a little bit. Trying to get him outside of stuns, of course. And for now, Purge Evil with the Swift Sweep again and the Sieging Wrath, which is another talent that we have to watch out for a little bit and see how well ADRD does when it comes to the stacking. Going into the Gul'dan Asmodan here, which doesn't really look too bad. And yeah, I'm really curious to see how that Cho'Gall is going to measure up against them. Currently, we have him at the top lane, but if you go up against, I mean, Breeze on Leoric, and then also you have Tychus against you, I mean, how do you survive all of that? A Molten Core laydown is going to be great. The Crystal Aegis can also mitigate some of the damage for a short period of time, so that you can work with that cooldown management. You have the Oriel, which can really capitalize on it too, but this is definitely going to be a rough game either way. But they don't care, so let's see how that's going to work out. Obviously, Hopelessness is taken. I mean, what else if you're going up against Cho'Gall? You're going to go for a Drain Hope focus. Quacknix with a Giant Killer laydown on 13 is also going to be another problem. And let's see how Blasty is going to make these plays. Cho'Gall in general is a hero that is great on maps where the objective is focused on a single point on the map. Meaning that on Infernal Shrines, when you only have one shrine active, it's actually great. The worst maps are maps where you have to control several points. Like the most atrocious Cho'Gall map, for example, is Dragonshire. Like there's not a single map where Cho'Gall is worse, I suppose. And, well, for now, you can actually tell that he is going to try and participate in these fights. But oftentimes with Cho'Gall, you will end up giving up early punishers just because you are gaining a lot of momentum as the game continues and are much harder to take that. Now they are taking the position here already, and with Asmodan they have now also a decent hero that of course can push that hammer back a little bit, especially once the stacks are completed. But the double support with Tassadar and Morales should give the sustain. Bad Benny still jumping out, Cho'Gall at work, both of them with very decent numbers already on the minion stacks. And with level 4 we now have the Ruined Gauntlet taken for the basic attack damage increase and the double back as well. So trying to just keep the damage a little bit closer to home. Smexy is low, gets shielded and survives. I cannot believe how Fnatic has been able the entire time to keep these heroes alive. In the last game and now in this one as well, the Punisher is taken by Fnatic and they even save Smexy on his Morales. God knows how. Curson doing a decent job pushing Quacknix back every single time, but right now this is tricky down here at the bot lane. They need to defend somehow, and of course Quacknix with a hammer is now getting solid value. We already see on 4 the Willing Vessel taken, which is going to make this even better and stronger, and the bigger they are, obviously, to just increase that Tychus damage. The focus attack for Morales is going to do a whole lot of work there too. Actually pretty decent defense here, nonetheless, I have to admit, because so far only the wall has fallen, and that's not too shabby considering that they're up against a Sergeant Hammer at this point. We're seeing also the Army of Hell, and 11 stacks already on the side of ADRD. I mean, if you're able to just throw your globe every single time into the opponent heroes that cluster up on the shrine, I guess you have a bit of an easier time to get that stacking process going, but they really rely on it. I mean, they really do. For now, we are already in a position where we have level 7 talents for Fnatic. They have that slight experience thanks to those towers taken down at the bot lane. And it is, again, the hyper coolant engines, standard talent to take on the Sergeant Hammer these days for the reduction on those thruster cooldowns. Also, the quarterback and the ghastly reach for these slows. But yes, Blasty is moving away here, and even more hits by ADRD. He's already on 13 stacks, not doing too bad here, but they really need to get that stacking going. We have also the Power Surge now as well on level 7 talent. We're seeing the Dark Descent taken at the same time now on the side of Gall and the Infernal Globe here. It's all really about that poke that we need to see. And Quacknix and his boys, they know that they need to get the early damage in, and they are trying to get as much value out of Sergeant Hammer as they possibly can. The combo with the Stim Drone later on is of course going to be super frightening. Once that you have a Morales with a Stim Drone, that's brutal. But they're going for Smexy, and they just don't have the damage! You gotta be shitting me again? They lose Cho'Gall and Smexy survives. Like, how? Every time. It's like the guy has a secret bonus pool that doesn't really show up on the screen. You think he's dead, and then all of a sudden there's another like 10, 20 hit points that he gets from somewhere, and he just survives. 3 kills thanks to that Cho'Gall double kill against 0 right now. Decent hits at the bot lane, but just this is brutal. They kind of need to win that shrine right now, because we are looking at level 8 versus level 9. It's a 1 level lead already, and if the Punisher moves through and they lose a 4 tier, they will be so far behind that the early level 10 talent on the side of Fnatic is going to give them a massive lead as well. So right now, once more, they're starting to move in, but Curson is so incredibly low. I don't even know what he's doing there, to be honest with you. He's way too low. Breeze wants him, doesn't get the kill, and they split on the lanes for experience instead. They let this one go. They're just trying to stack even more with ADRD, who's currently on 20 stacks. They have Tyrael down to the bot lane. Cho'Gall moved up to the top. They're at least closing the gap in experience. They're willing to accept that they will hit level 10s slower than their opponent. But right now, ADRD just attempting to get the stacks together. So that he gets that extra damage and can put a bit more pressure into those pokes. Cho'Gall already starting to move in here, trying to see if they can maybe even get a kill there. That would of course be the dream, but right now they don't want to engage too much since Fnatic is about to hit 10. And that's exactly what's happening right now. So at this point we're having level 10 just about to drop, but at least we have 10 very close now for the bees as well. And Cho'Gall might get a bit of momentum with this, but certainly Asmodan will once he gets the stack together, and he is at 23, so he only needs 2 more, and that's happening just now, so he has more damage. And Tomb chosen for Breeze, which is one of the reasons why they actually move away now. They don't want to get caught in this case. They have to give up this fort anyways. There's the Napalm taken. Gall is not killed. I'm not quite sure why exactly that happened. The game is tricking me again. It already did that yesterday with the late death notifications. I already freaked for a moment, but it didn't happen. We have Twisting Nether taken, Upheaval as well. Yeah, Upheaval already used, but not getting any value out of the Twisting Nether just yet. At least not enough. Alright, so apparently they were trying to go for Quacknix, but that didn't really work out. More poke damage is happening as ADRD is now getting those globes in again. Of course, we are seeing at this point Stim Drone. Tigers hasn't even taken a talent just yet, is apparently still thinking about going into Odin, which we have seen every now and then, but rarely. A level ahead by now for Fnatic, but this game is of course far from being over. I mean, they are level ahead, but this is definitely not the end of the game. Besides that, we have now also the Bioshield taken, we have the Trauma Trigger. It's interesting to see actually Bioshield on level 4, considering, I mean, usually you would say it's the automated block here, which is not the case. Shrimpy at the bot lane, just like shooting away together with the drill and getting another fort, not too bad. Cho'Gall and Bad Benny, they are moving over, but they will be a little bit too late for that. Or will they? Are they going to get that kill? They should actually. They should get a kill here. So they're starting to move in. Yeah, Shrimpy, that's just like trying to dash in. Azmodan at the top lane is dead though. And with Azmodan dying, there is a high chance that this keep or this fort is not going to make it either. But at least experience soaked by Cho'Gall and Tyrael now at the mid and bot lane. But of course we have Quacknix now in a position where he can just like hammer down on those structures. And that level 13 talent is dropping super early here. Curson! Curson! And goodbye. Curson is down, Oriel is dead, 5 kills against 1. Level 13 now ready too, where we have the Crushing Hope, which makes this even worse. The Giant Killer is in play, couples therapy, Smexy is going to survive even more. Not that he died yet or anything, I mean, like, for some reason that guy is unkillable. But yeah, Fnatic is looking super strong. I mean, they are looking absolutely fantastic. Quacknix and Smexy, they are still at the top lane, busy taking this one down. Not even a Stim Drone used just yet, but this is just looking not pretty. Yeah, again the cleanse, well done here, but this time Smexy is finally dead. I mean, this is one of those moments where I have to say thank you, because like I thought he could be killed. Cho and Gal are both down, Oriel is about to die, she's getting entombed here. Fnatic is playing such an incredible game here today, it is fantastic. They are really playing well. 13 is now ready with the Dread Shield, with a Blinding Flash and the Molten Core, but it's just way too late to have any kind of impact for that fight that we saw there. The idea was actually great, but I love how every time this upheaval comes into play, Smexy is there with a quick cleanse and saves Quacknix. In theory, if you think about it, like, that Cho'Gall can actually do a whole lot against Hammer if you get the upheaval through, but if that cleanse is hitting every time, then there's just nothing you can do about that. So they're starting to jump in, up to the top lane. There's still, of course, a shrine to fight over, and so far, well, ADRD, they can still win it. We're seeing now Spray and Pray taken, but they have to really win this one. I mean, if they lose this one and then 16 happens, then I think it's more or less game over. But still, this is one that they can fight here at this point. 3,000 that we have already. Yeah, well, there's Bad Benny. Bad Benny's really far out, isn't he? He's way too far out. Bad Benny going for the Sanct here to save his own ass. But we have still Tigers up at the top getting value, and they're going to get this one. Not only Bad Benny, but they're also going to get the Punisher. Here comes Curson once again trying to retreat, and the Entomb is dropping him. The solo Leoric at the front line doing too much. Finally an upheaval going through, but it's not enough to drop Quacknix because Morales is just too strong with that. The heal is too strong. They're going for Curson and they are securing the kill. 11 kills against 2. The Punisher is on the way. Quacknix is moving in. That Stim Drone has never even been used. The level 16 talents are now also ready. He goes for the Hovering Siege mode so that he can push this through without him actually even using graduating range. And they're just getting in position. So right now they might be able to go through to the core. Guys, this is brutal. Fnatic is playing such a fantastic game right now. The entire series was absolutely impeccable, and they are now moving in, dropping the hit points on the keep as is. The Punisher was baited in. Great play by the Beast. Actually making sure that they're not losing the core here. And they might even save the keep. They might even save it. They're doing a really solid job saving that thing, but they still need to... Yeah, 16 versus 14. They still need to soak 2 levels, and that's not going to be easy. Then Upheaval, on the other hand, finally getting some value, and Wimpy is taken down, but it is mainly... Is it going to take down Cho'Gall? No! Look at how low they are! But they all get away for now. They all get away! That keep should fall. Oh, Breeze, the heal! They go for Breeze, they go for Leoric, they're going to get the kill! But the keep is going to fall. They get the kill, but the keep falls. They have 2 kills right now. And yeah, they are fighting back. I mean, tooth and nail, they're making sure that they at least get some value out of all of this, but they're so far behind. They have the Molten Core and everything finally that they can use to keep Cho'Gath alive a little bit longer, but it's such an incredible difficult game for them at this point. And if you look at the damage numbers, actually Asmodan is doing a fairly decent job here, spreading the love, 41,000, so AD with all of those globes is doing a nice job, but we have Hammer on 55,000 damage already. We're seeing Leoric on 30,000, I mean for good reason. He always has that Drain Hope on either Asmodan or Cho'Gath, and therefore he does incredible damage with the Drain Hope. We're still seeing these boys in the mid lane. They have 16 soon. Bad Benny dropping out of the game. I guess we're going to see a pause any moment here. They need to make sure that they are fighting with a full force. But he's already back to business, so it does seem that it was only a small hiccup. But level 16 is there. And once again with a Twisting Nether, they're trying to go for the kill. And Sergeant Hammer is down. Maybe this is the opportunity for AD and his boys to finally get a couple kills together. Molten Core used to save him for now and to dodge the Drain. Hope Bad Benny is trying to move in. And maybe they can split him off with another Holy Ground here. Breeze already on the way in the tree, gets completely isolated. And they're trying to get the kill against him. But he's moving in with the Drain Hope against AD and his guys again. But right now it's a 5 versus 4. Cho'Gath finally on the move here, on the way forward. They went into Twilight Veil and the Giant Scourger, which is going to help them a little bit more against Breeze. Breeze moving out, gets a shield from Tassadar. Whoopi just playing that shield bot right here, but at least for now they have a bit of momentum going for themselves. Another 10 seconds until Hammer is back and the Shrine is already active. This is the moment for them to move in and maybe make a bit of a play. If they can at least get a slight lead in the minion stacks, that would be something, but Hammer is back to business. Breeze is already on the point. They see what's happening here. They are moving in. They're trying to go for an isolation kill before Hammer is back in the fight, but so far it hasn't happened. 10 against 2 stacks. Breeze eating some of the damage. Once more, we are seeing that random damage from Cho'Gath coming out as he's dropping the rune bombs once after another. They're taking position on the Shrine. The force wall doesn't do too much. Hammer is not dead. It's still a bit of delayed notification. And once more, trying to go for the Twilight Rebellion. Not doing too much just yet. Yeah, good force wall. Good force wall. Moving in, trying to get the damage in. Moving in right away with the Shogun. Once again for Breeze. Breeze is low. Leoric is about to fall. Morales is on point though once again. And they are still fighting over that particular Punisher. Once again, the slight lead in the numbers on the side. Oh, Tassadar is down. Asmodan with a shot and Tassadar is down. AD and his guys are on the Shrine right now. Curson healing them up the entire time. Breeze on the move back. Morales is starting to run out of mana. This could be the moment. This could really be the moment for them, and this will be the first Punisher in the hands of AD and the 2 Beasts Determined. A level behind, but they finally build up some momentum. Cho'Gath, a late game hero, is finally getting the traction that they were hoping for at the beginning of the game. Great play thus far, but once again, especially Morales, always safe, always saving heroes. Breeze was on the verge of dying several times and Morales just able to save them. And of course, this is an attempt to go for the keep. And they're starting to move in right now at that bot lane. Look at the numbers here. Cho'Gath jumping in with the 60,000. Asmodan on the other hand with 61. They go again for it. Try to get the value against Breeze, who gets sucked in but doesn't die. Bad Benny with great play here, using the Holy Ground. They're trying to jump on Smexy. They can't get the kill just yet. A really good entomb from Breeze is keeping them close for just another moment. Quantnix is in the back and he gets the stim drone, and this is the moment that you really have to be afraid of. He's trying to go in with that Giant Killer to drop them. Bad Benny is so low in mana. He needs to be really careful here. Breeze the only one trying to follow it up, but that stim drone on Quantnix Sergeant Hammer forced them back, and the keep, it survived. The keep survived. It is still there, alive and kicking, and Hammer has by now 80,000 damage. 80,000 damage on Sergeant Hammer, and we're closing in on the 20s. But guys, we are on even experience. Even experience right now. 18 versus 18, and both of the teams now looking for opportunities to get a little bit ahead. And level 20, of course, is also going to be pretty strong here. I mean, especially with that upheaval that we see the entire time. The Twisting Nether. Those are just really the moves that they need to use to perfection. The real problem is that oftentimes Cho'Gath is currently completely blocked out by either a Force Wall or the Entomb. And that's something where Breeze and Whoopi are doing an absolutely excellent job. But Bad Benny has now at least a tool that he can use to work against that with his own holy ground. So he can try to just give them a taste of their own medicine. At this point, on the other hand, it's nearly level 20 for Fnatic, but also ADRD and his guys are really close to that too. They're starting to move in again, but look at especially, of course, Quadnix on his Sergeant Hammer. The blind of Oriel is doing work. Yeah. Other people didn't really do anything. Bad Benny is starting to go in a bit. They want to have keep number 2, and they're trying to look for 20. Top lane is getting value on the other hand for the team in blue, as we're seeing the bees with one of the shaman camps pushing towards that fort, which could secure a bit more experience for them if they're dropping structures. Again, Cho'Gall attacked and isolated, but the Molten Core saving him for now. Already moving away. Bad Benny again with the holy ground, and they try to go for the damage against Quadnix. Breeze, low, not taken down just yet. Bad Benny jumping deep to go for Shrimpy and put pressure on him on the ground right away. The drill, but it's taken down immediately by the beast. They are focusing it down. No value out of the drill. 19 versus 19 and a half. Top lane still pushing. Another shrine active on the map in another 5 seconds. But this shaman is not getting too much done just yet. But still, eventually, at least the tower is going to fall, and that will give them a little bit of help. 80% on the core against 100. They have to go in right now. Level 20s any second right now. Both of the teams are trying to go for the stacks. 20 dropping for them. At the same time, we have right now Favor of the Old Gods. Great talent for them. The Nether Calls too. Great talents here now for Cho'Gall. Really good damage, and also the Hardened Shield, which is going to be really fantastic together with the Shield of Hope and Bolt of the Storm. Survivability is key right now for them, and they are using it. They are moving in once again, but keep all those damage talents in mind that we have for Fnatic as the fight is starting to rage on. Breeze is low. Here's the stim drawn on Quadnix. They're trying to wait it out, of course. 21 against 17 stacks, and once again ADRD trying to get those globes in, and he does solid damage with it, but they need to get Cho'Gall into a good position, and they're trying to. They go for Quadnix in the backline again, but look how low Cho'Gall already is. Cho'Gall is about to die, needs to use the Molten Core once again. Shrimpy is still there, following it up. Another shield being dropped right away here. They're trying to go for that backline, but the position of Fnatic is absolutely fantastic. But Benny is solo, gets healed, cursed and isolated, goes for the Aegis, still falling here. He's down. Breeze is following it up. He might die, but he kills Tyrael first. Cho'Gall still moving out of there, and we have 36 minions already taken as Shrimpy is about to drop the last few. Hasn't even gone into his level 20 just yet. The Arcane Punisher is taken. Blasty is moving away with that Cho'Gall, and we have 13 kills versus 7. Leoric has actually fallen earlier, but it doesn't really matter anymore here because this push is probably going to end the game. 4 heroes together with the Sergeant Hammer, who on 20 went into the Nexus Frenzy. They can just barrel down on that core right now, which is already at 20%. And there is that Punisher trying to finish the game. Amazing play here once again on the side of Fnatic. The bees nearly coming back into this one, but this is going to be the end. The core is losing hit points, and Fnatic takes it with a 3-0 against the 2 bees determined. A fantastic series here by Fnatic, and a well-deserved victory. Flawless victory here without even dropping a single map. GG, well played, and congratulations to Fnatic.